He says Kobe's uncoachable. What was your reaction in that moment when you see that, you read that, a guy that you have a relationship with, you had success with?
I was frustrated by it. You know what I mean? Because it was always a type of relationship where it was like, for me, it's just come at me direct. Like, I'm right here. You don't have to BS me. We can just hash this out, you and me. And he would rather not do that because that's uncomfortable, right? He'd rather go to the media and do it. So a lot of the stuff that I read in the book was the first time I've ever heard any of this stuff. And I'm like, dude, I'm literally right here.
Right.
So when he came back, that's one of the things that he said. He apologized for. He was like, listen, I understand. We should just have a direct relationship. And that's how we were able to kind of move forward. But it was really frustrating, man.
The apology's good, but the royalty would be nice too.
Yeah, I told him, I said, this is like your third book on me now, dude.
Right.
Like,
just
come
keep
on,
writing
man.
books.
Like,
I'm gonna write a book on this, like 45-minute interview.
Like, where's my royalty check?
It's gonna be great. Was there any truth to it though? Do you think, was there a moment when you read that and you had to, kind of take a look at yourself and be like, maybe I am not the best teammate? Because there's always this really interesting line to me when you're watching, athletes at their highest level.
Yeah.
A guy who is a clear alpha leader, he runs the team. There's that line of, is he from like his ego is out of control to he just wants the most out of people.
Right.
Like Michael Jordan punched Steve Kerr in the face. Like, there's stories of you pushing your teammates and maybe getting some of them kind of crumble in the moment.
Yeah.
Did you see that and kind of reflect and say, hey, maybe I need to do this differently?
Well, I think there's a couple answers to that. So, drive a hard bargain. The people that I've always had issues or problems with are the people that don't demand excellence for themselves. I won't tolerate that. Because when the career is said and done, they're not going to be looking at you, a player on his team, and saying, you didn't win a championship. No, they're going to be looking here, right? So it's my responsibility to make sure everybody's holding themselves accountable. I'm holding you accountable. If we just played a back-to-back and we have practice the next day, your ass better be there, tape ready to go, right? Because I'm there and I'm ready, and I just got finished lifting weights for 2 hours, right? So I hold guys to a higher standard, and I don't sugarcoat stuff. Never have, never will, right? And that tends to rub some people the wrong way. Now, teams that we won championships on, me and all of those guys, still close to this day, extremely close. Right, Lamar and I still close.
Fisher,
Shannon Brown, D. Fish, all my guys.
Shaq.
We're all Shaq, right? Even Shaq. Powell.
Did you win a championship with Smush Parker? No.
Okay, he and I don't talk, by the way.
I was going to say that answers that question.
That's one of the people that would probably say I was a bad teammate.
Yeah.
Well, but most of the other guys, man, that you wind up having this bond. So, you can't have those kind of relationships with guys years after playing with them and be a bad teammate.
Yeah, no, that's fair. It's
funny. I want to piggyback on that because it is so true. I wasn't as fortunate to win that many championships or as good to win as many championships as Kobe, but in 2009, that roster, they're like 24 brothers. And to this day, if one of them texts me right back, within 5 minutes, I'm hitting them back. Because you build this incredible bond that only if you're one of the, in our case, 25, I think 12 in your case, is this bond that never goes away. And all of a sudden you become a good teammate. You become nice, you become this. But it's a hard line between the best leaders are not always the most popular ones. And I think sometimes people have a hard time determining.
They do. And I'll give you a story of the stuff that was frustrating. And the whole selfishness stuff and all that stuff was frustrating. Phil would come to me and say, there was a year there in 2003 where I had 40 points in 9 straight games. Right? Shaq was out. It was a toe thing. So Phil comes to me before the stretch and says, Kobe, we need you to take over the offense. I'm like, all right, cool. So that literally,
say no more.
I got it. Fine. I got it. So that literally started the streak of 40 straight games, 40 points in 9 straight games. Shaq comes back from injury and Phil goes, I still continue to do it, right? And then Phil calls me to his office, goes, hey, we're starting to lose the big fella. What do you mean? Well, he's not getting the attention. This 40-point streak is starting to kind of take away his fire to prove something, right? So I need you to start dialing it back. I'm like, what? He says, we're going to lose him, and we need him in June. Okay. All right. We have a game against the Clippers. think I had like 38 or something like that. And I had a chance to score 40 and get 40 again. It was a blowout game. I dumped the ball in the Shaq instead of shooting a wide open shot. The 40-point streak ended that night.
Wow.
That was it. And that's inside stuff that people don't know.
Right.
And you tell me you went into
people
Phil's
don't know.
office and said, are you happy
Yes.
now?
Yeah.
Because Phil was like, hey, we got to dial it back. Got to dial it back. We're
You
starting
di-
to lose
that's
the big fella.
Perfect Kobe too. He's like, you got to dial it back. You're like, all right, I'll score 38 instead of 40.
Well, I mean, this is the streak thing. It would have been 10 in a row. Would have broke a record.
Right.
Right. I would have broke the record, but instead,
What do you think? I mean,
stuff.
your relationship with Shaq, I feel like, is one of the most intriguing relationships in all pro sports.
Yeah.
Were you guys ever at a point where you just wouldn't even speak?
No, because we were very direct. Like I said before, I'm very straightforward. Right? I don't care if you're 7'2" or 6'2". If I got an issue with you, I'm going to let you know. Mm-hmm. So no, because we're always speaking. Just sometimes it's more volatile than others.
Right.
But we're always speaking, always direct.
Yeah. So, and when that all falls apart, I mean, what was your biggest, like, where would you say the biggest problem with your communication? Was it, Shaq not coming to
It wasn't
season in shape?
Well, it's funny. When we sat down, we did the interview together. He finally copped to the fact that after we won championships, he was like, okay, I can just relax and coast over the summer because I know I got a teammate who's going to be training 8-10 hours a day. And I was like, see, that's the BS.
That would piss me off.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
Right.
That's the issue. But also, it became it's not something that we couldn't have worked out either because we've been doing it, right? But I got to a point in my career where it was the rumblings, and some of it created by him that, Kobe can't win without me. And it was like, hold up. No, it's not true.
Right.
It's not true.
Right.
And I'm not going to retire and have people hold that over my head. Mm-hmm. I said, no, let's find out.
Yeah.
So it was just time to go separate ways.
So that really did bother you, and it's interesting because in today's NBA, I mean, you see a guy like Kevin Durant go to Golden State.
Yeah.
You would never have made that move.
No, I wouldn't have. But, different strokes for different folks, man. When I was coming up, it was Kobe can't win without Shaq. But I've never heard that argument made about Magic and Kareem.
Right.
Or Michael and Pip.
Right.
But that was the thing being thrown my way. And it was like, all right, well, it is what it is. Let's see.
Do you think that you got criticized more than a guy like Kevin Durant or the guys who are playing now?
No, at the moment, it's all different according to the moment in time, right? It always seems like more when you're in that moment. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's no more, no less. I think now with social media, things tend to perpetuate much, much faster. But back then, conversely, the stories tend to sit a lot longer.
Right.
There's less fires coming.
Yeah. Do you understand on social media that you have the craziest fan base of all time?
I understand that my fans are very passionate.
The Kobe stands are insane. They're insane.
I have a passionate following.
Like, they are insane. Whenever the MJ LeBron thing comes up, the Kobe stands, like, they poke out their head out from under a bush and they're like, just attack you.
Yeah, well, I have passionate fans.
Was there a part of you when LeBron came here seeing maybe some of the Lakers fans be like, no, Kobe's our guy? Did that? I mean, obviously you want to welcome LeBron, but it shows your impact on the team and the organization.
No, I mean, my impact on this organization is to look forward. If I've taught this fan base anything, is that we want excellence, we want championships, and it's about the purple and gold. It's not about one player. I came in here with Magic, and Magic embraced me with open arms, as did Kareem and Worthy and everybody else, and Jerry West and Elgin and all those guys. It's our responsibility to do the same thing for the next generation that comes in, and I take that stuff deadly seriously. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's like, no, guys.
See the Jimmy Butler stuff. He, obviously he demanded a trade. Yeah. He went and beat the starters with the third stringers. Yeah. And a lot of people were saying that's kind of a Kobe or MJ move, where it's like he's pushing his team and saying, you need me. Did you think that was a move that you would do, or, something that was detrimental?
I think most of my teams would just call it a Monday.
taking the third stringers and beating the first
Monday.
team? Yeah.
It's just a regular practice. Man.
Yeah. I mean, well, I read a story that you used to play guys to 100. You'd be like, you have to stay in this gym and play me to 100. And I mean, what was the biggest margin of victory you'd ever win at?
Well, in high school, I used to spot guys 99 to 100. No kidding. But, listen, these practices are meant to be competitive. They're meant to be competitive. if your practices aren't more competitive than the games themselves, you're doing the wrong thing. And most of these teams and coaches have gotten into a mindset of resting players. Oh, it's too much. You know, we're not going to practice light day, light day, light day. Phil never gave us a light day. There's no days off. You show up and you work. You practice. And practices are going to be worse. They're going to be more physical. There's going to be more trash talking. And I'm going to let you know. Right? If you didn't show up today, I'm going to let you know. And it's going to be embarrassing. And you're going to hate it. But when Game 7 rolls around, the NBA Finals, you will be prepared.